Hey, so what's up, Thrift Fam? And welcome to another edition of the Thrift Store Prepper. And excuse me, I was just repositioning myself, and as you can see, we've got a different view for you instead of the studio. This is the pantry, and as you can see, I've disassembled some of the boxes here, and you've got some there and some of these little storage tubs here. And this is the big treasure hunt find that I had that I recently stocked up with the $50 haul. And as you can see, it is pretty stocked to the brim, but everything in there is a little bit kind of mismatched and thrown in. So I'm going to do a little bit of organization, and possibly what I'm going to do is try and fit this entire 2 boxes here. And this is my ramen stash, and I'm going to try and fit all the ramen into here and maybe squeeze these other items into the available space that we may have in the other tubs and here to kind of compartmentalize all of the things. That every kind of tub has one specific thing in it. For example, this is kind of my plantain chips, veggie chips, those green pea type chips, and stuff like that. Some seaweed in there, snacks, those kind of dried snacks. This is like my mashed potatoes and other kind of stuff that I need to add a little water, like my soup bases and things like that. And then I got some cereals here and tea and biscuits and peanut butter and jams and stuff. And there's my bare knee. I am in shorts. It is summertime. I'm not naked, so that's a little treat for you maybe if you're into that sort of thing. So basically what I'm going to do is take all of this stuff out, put you all on pause while I do it, and come back and show you what's going on. But we might have a little look at what we've got in here before we put it into other boxes. So bear with me, and I will see you all shortly. So this is everything that was in here. So I've got a whole bunch of Nature Valleys there, some Pop-Tarts, some Little Debbie's brownies and honey buns. I had 16 cans of mostly beans and lentils, 6 packets of Ritz type crackers. They're the dollar store generic equivalent. 2 packets of these Signor Batanio, I don't know how to say that, I can't even read it. But these little crisp bread cracker things, a couple of packets of Kool-Aid, some sriracha, maple syrup and vinegar. And also this little random container, so I've got some condiments, like some spices, some sauces, stuffing mix, and a couple of other things, and some jerky. Not jerky, some salt that we repackaged in the jerky packages in here. So I could use this entirely on its own. It's a little bit smaller than the other ones, but it is its own contained unit, and I just stuffed it in here for space purposes. So my intentions are to empty all the ramens that I've repackaged and downsized into the trail mix packages into here and see what space we have left over. And obviously if we've got some room, we can add more ramen. So I'm going to be putting you on pause once again, and we'll come back when I've finished. So here you can see I managed to get all the ramen in there, and I don't know if you can see, if I can come down here, but at the bottom I put the 16 cans at the bottom, tucked in the Aunt Jemima's at the back, and the sriracha and the vinegar, and still have a little room for some more ramen. So that's pretty much the ramen bunker filled. Oh, now we're gonna have to do some squashing. So freed up 2 containers. So we're going to try our best to fill these up and see how much room we can save. So bear with me once again, Thrift Fam. So here we have another container, Thrift Fam. In here I've got my Harvest Nature Valley rather. These kind of granola bars, so I took those out of the boxes, saved some space. They're all stacked at the bottom. I've got my Pop-Tarts, these crackers, and my Kool-Aids fit in there perfectly. So can see we've got here, this one was pretty full, didn't need anything tinkering with. This one didn't need anything tinkering with. There's a little space in there that I could possibly utilize at some point, add another couple of cookies in there, but essentially that one is pretty much full, and I have a spare empty one. So as I have a spare empty one for now, what I'm going to do is not do that because it doesn't fit. Is put you back on pause and figure out what I'm going to do next. So there it is, Thrift Fam. I've got everything back into the position, and whether or not this is needed or not, but we can see we've got my big case of MREs, and I am going to be looking into getting a second one of those to put up there, as I am going to be reviewing these, but certainly as something as just a personal thing that I think is pretty cool to have in your emergency pantry is a case of MREs. So we will be looking to get a second one of those this week. I've got my emergency water storage there. In the green tub I have some containers that I use to keep my trail mix, and the Herschel bag with a bunch of the dollar store tote bags that I have a whole bunch of. I could even give those away as prizes if anybody is interested. So I've actually freed up one whole container which we can utilize and restock some stuff. There you go. All the pretty shiny nut sacks there that are available for anyone who wishes to purchase them. Ask in the comments below and we'll figure out a way to get some to you if you want some shiny nut sacks. So there you go. We've got the tea and the biscuits and the condiments like the peanut butter and jelly, a whole box of Nature Valleys and other crackers, and kind of Zum Zum and Wham Whams, honey buns, brownies, kind of, you know, snacks and dessert type things. We got instant mashed potatoes and other kind of stuff like couscous, soup base, those kind of things that will need a little bit of water, along with the oatmeal. And we've got some semi-skimmed milk, meat sticks and soup. There's the homemade mace. There's my bug out bag, beans, potatoes, and all of these are pretty stocked up. And this one, I just have some eating stuff, you know, trays for eating off of, and my extra bag. So that's essentially another unit that I could free up some space and utilize for other items. So at the moment I do have another free excuse me, container that I can add some more things. So next week we've got a empty space to fill, so we can start our $20 top up next week on some more prepping items, and hopefully maybe I can check out another Dollarama and see if I can pick up another 2, possibly 3 of these storage containers. Then I can go up one more level and raise it up one more, but if I wanted to. But pretty much at the moment I would say with everything I have here, I mean, you've seen inside of these many times, nothing more has really been added to these. They are as they pretty much have been. It's just mostly beans, some boyardees, there's some chili, some peaches, but on top of that I got like my Vienna sausage, my generic spam, ham, corned beef, canned chicken, and some other proteins. So maybe this one here, that can be the start of the meat stick and jerky bunker, because that's something I don't have much of, although I do have some jerky in one of these. Maybe I'll have to fish them out and start building a jerky and meat stick box for my pantry. So that's it, Thrift Fam. Nothing very exciting, just give you a little look at the pantry, and every now and then I do like to overhaul and rearrange stuff, and it just gives me a little idea of what kind of things I have. And as you said, when I first started this out, this here was just going to be the intended thing that I filled up and was going to be my micro pantry. But as the channel and everything has gone along and grown over the months, so too has the micro pantry. But you can clearly see that although it's not as micro as it once was. It still doesn't take up that much space, and certainly if you're someone who's in a room rental or basement studio or even an RV or van life, this is something that you could pretty much fit into your space, I think, without taking up too much room, and would be able to provide you with a pretty substantial amount of food to last you a considerable duration. As I said, it's very hard for me to gauge exactly how long I could last on what we see in front of you here. Actually, I could even stand the camera up. Bear with me 1 second. And give you a pretty condensed look at the pantry there. That's not bad. I keep forgetting I have a selfie stick and don't have to hold these things. Technology is getting used to me. But as you can see, and there you go, people, that is my pantry. This is something that I have put together over a course of time with $20 top-ups here, $10 top-ups there. And when I've been able to, like we filled up this a week or so ago with a $50 haul, that's what we did. We just spend as much as we can, when we can, on what we consider to be food storage, food and let me spit that out and try again. Food insurance, and we're not necessarily prepping for the end of days or the shit hitting the fan. We're just prepping for realistic, more likely events that people are gonna encounter in their daily lives, like maybe being out of work, personal illness, having to provide money on expenses that were unforeseen, and having to pinch the pennies and watch the dollars. Having a little bit of a food in your pantry to fall back on can alleviate some of those costs in a stressful time. And as I say, at the end of the day, all of us have to eat, so food for me is a pretty important commodity, and you can't eat iPhones or silver or gold or Samsung TVs, but you can eat beans and ramen. So this is my Sensi pantry, Sensi micro pantry. Everything that is in here I consider is fail safe. The majority of it is cans. I just have to open a can and I can eat it from the packet. Same with the chips and the dried stuff. Some of the things that I do need water for, I have enough water on hand to prepare the food that needs water in this particular pantry. So I don't need any excess fuel. I don't need any propane or solar panels or pots and pans or anything like that in order to prepare my food. Everything can be eaten pretty much from the packaging, and everything that I have pretty much provides a lot of calories and some of the daily requirements in the nutritional value. And this is what Sensi prepping is all about, and this is what micro prepping is all about. Getting rid of all the stuff and junk and gadgets that you don't need, that they tell you can't live without, and concentrating on the one thing that you can't live without, and that is food, and trying to put as much food that is fail safe and requires little to no preparation. Because remember, if this is a shithead in the fan situation, you don't want the added stress of having to find excessive amounts of water or keep fire burning, or having to limit or ration your propane or whatever source of fuel you have in order to cook and provide meals for yourself. With this, you can just pretty much open a can and go. In a worst case scenario, you can heat up a can on a candle if you really have to. So that's about it, Thrift Fam. I'm going to keep it a little bit short and sweet, but hopefully this has given you a little bit more information and guidelines into Sensi prepping and micro prepping, and how I kind of go about doing my preps. And how it all started was with just a $20 top up from the dollar store, and each and every week just putting these $10-20 top ups together, you can put together a pantry just like this. But bear in mind, this is my pantry. These are all things that are foods that I know I can eat, and you have your own personal preferences or taste or flavor. So don't necessarily follow exactly by the book the things that I did, but take on board some of the information, certainly in terms of the nutrients involved in some of these items, in what we consider Sensi prepping items, as opposed to empty prepping items that don't give you much bang for your buck in terms of calories calories, nutrition, or density to fill you up. So just bear those things in mind, and as I said, always get yourself to your dollar store, familiarize yourself with what they have available, and make a little list in routine and keep to the same items as I have done, and you can put together a pantry just like mine. So thanks ever so much for watching, Thrift Fam. This has, as always, a shit video production for the Thrift Store Prepper, and we will catch you next time in another episode.